All right, so we're under open discussion. And
Two
we've got
things.
some folks,
Oh, you want to do that first?
yeah, let's do the public first, and then we'll come back
Okay.
under open discussion, if that's all right. I've got a list here of folks that have signed up, so we'll start at the top of the list. Kim?
I believe this is a delay tactic. There are many, I know there's different costs. More than one person has made this request. Many people would like to see these, the record of the meeting. A lot of people don't even know that this meeting exists. There's many members of the public, many community stakeholders that would like a record of this meeting. And under ADA, and I did check this out with Minn, under ADA, which is a federal law, the Americans with Disabilities Act, if a person with a disability makes a request such as this, their recommendation that should have been done right away last year. I made a request earlier in 2015. Beth Moline made another request. I believe it will, this is a public institution and public dollars go into it, and I believe having a record which is accessible to people with disabilities and people in the public is a good thing. And if this is going to be tabled, what alternatives could be given, even an audio MP3 file? Because we need to have a really good copy of these meetings. And then also, I think Beth might like to share a story about something she experienced a couple years ago. And then something I brought up last time, I'm again requesting that all members of the bus company, including the fixed route drivers, would have disability sensitivity training. Not all fixed route drivers really quite understand what to do when a blind person gets on the bus and makes a request, but I'll let Beth tell her story.
Okay. Hold on, I just want to, do you have any other thing? I'm just going to go down the list of people in the order, so if that's all right, just I want to keep it fair and equitable. So do you have any other issues before? Because I do have, is it Ann?
Right here.
Okay, hi.
But I was wondering if you could please.
Oh, if you want to let someone go ahead, I just.
Please let Beth go before
Sure,
me.
that's fine. I just want
I
to
would appreciate that.
keep in order, so if people
Okay.
sign up in that order, I want to make sure that I'm keeping fair to the order that people are signed up, so. But Beth, that's fine. Beth.
Thank you. I wanted to say there was one time, and normally I enjoy being on the buses, whether it's fixed route or dial ride, but I was gonna say there was one time when I was on one of the fixed route buses, we got to the transit center and the bus driver didn't say anything about it, and the person that was sitting beside me told me that we were at the transit center then, and I told the bus driver that I thought he was gonna announce the transit center, and he said, "Well, you're here, aren't you?" And I said, "Do you have to be that way?" And I was thinking there's certain bus drivers that don't feel that they need to call off the stops. I just don't think it's right.
Mr. Chair? Can I ask a question, Beth?
Sure.
Beth, did you, by any chance when that incident occurred, did you let us know?
I did, and someone thought that one of the other bus drivers was there near at the transit center, and she thought that it was Dan, but I was told at the time that there were 3 Dans, so I don't want to blame someone that it might not have been.
Right.
But yeah, I did report it at the time, but I never really heard.
Was the stop enunciation system in the bus not operational? Because it should say transit center when they're pulling into the transit
It wasn't at that time, actually.
Okay.
It was at a point where the GPS or whatever it was not in action at the time.
Okay. Approximately how long ago did this, was this some time ago?
Well, I think it was, if I remember correctly, back in 2010. I'm
Oh.
sorry that it was
Okay.
that long ago, but yes, I did report it at the time, but
Okay.
I'm worried there's a bus driver that we had trouble with, and that was when Andy Verdon was still alive. He even told the bus driver was saying, if I had my way, I'd turn that GPS system off, and Andy said if you do, you would be fired.
Other questions?
Why should we have someone who is gonna be that bitter driving the bus?
Anything else, Beth, you want to add to the discussion?
Well, I am in favor of at least audio MP3 on the thing, the MP3 of the meeting. And I'd like to know if this one is gonna be on the site, where to look for it on the site. And I wanna thank you for doing what you're doing with it today.
To that question, when you took an action, so that the board's action on the videotaping aspect of what do we do with the audio tapes?
Well, Libby uses the audio tapes to do the minutes.
The minutes.
Yeah, prior to, it's like this meeting now, Libby would do it next one, like the transcribing of the audio, put it into the minutes, and then put it with the packet for that, for the next meeting. Am I saying that correct? Right?
I use them to write minutes, and
Okay.
then they sit in my desk.
When they sit here, there's no, is there a requirement to store audio?
Closed, in closed meetings.
Close the video.
Is there a way to, I mean, we took action on the video, but on the audio, to put that on the web, is there a way to just have that?
Well, the actual was the audio / visual. That's what the,
Well, you tabled the audio, you actually always though have an audio, so
Yeah, okay.
that's a separate thing that exists. So there's no action taken on that. Is it possible to get that tape on our web page so that if someone went there, they can listen to the meeting? That shouldn't be, if we don't have the technology to do that, then we.
I don't know. I would have to look at that equipment. I don't know how it works.
it's just basically that tape recorder there, that you just keep the tape, so we'll have to find a way.
I mean, I could use my iPhone and record
Wi-Fi,
this and put that on the website.
Wi-Fi.
Right. I practiced with my iPhone
Yeah.
last meeting, and it picked up pretty well.
I think the question is if the website can handle it. And if the website can handle an audio tape with a button to start, it's simple to take an iPad or something and then transfer over.
I think we could work with Johnson Group to do that. We'll host our
I would think any website would be able to handle audio. I can't think of a website I've ever went
And
to.
I'm not
where
saying
you
that we
could-
can't, but I'm pretty sure we can, but, using that.
Yeah, you just
Well,
might need a,
a different technology
Yeah,
versus.
your iPhone.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we have tabled the video piece, but this is something that exists. We record all these.
Right, we do.
I don't see anything, I think, in the area of transparency that we have that available to the public. I don't see
I'd
why
make
we
a-
wouldn't have that.
I'd make a motion to explore the audio capabilities of our website and the means to do that, and get back to us at the next meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, do you think we need to wait till the next meeting? If you can do it, can't you just put it on the webpage? I'm trying to think of
Yeah,
where we would
yeah.
need to have
I
a
mean, that's-
discussion about putting something that
If
already
you can do it
exists.
for no charge.
Right.
If it's free.
Yeah, if you can do it for
If it's not free, then.
Little or nothing.
little nominal.
There you go.
Now, would you be
Non-budgeted
willing to
expense.
amend that, just, I mean,
Yeah.
so we can just throw it on there, you can throw it on there.
Okay.
I have a feeling these type of recorders are very poor.
Yeah, I've never seen that's kind of an antique, and it's a.
Well, I think you have some trouble, don't you, with that, Libby, sometimes, just,
If I wear headphones, it's fine, but
Then it works.
if I played it right now for you, it would be horrible, yeah.
Can we give Libby a new recorder?
Oh,
It works, it's fine.
A nice Wi-Fi capability.
there's a lot of digital recorders out there.
You okay, is the seconder okay with that? Second?
Mhm.
I'll
Any
second that
further
motion.
discussion? Okay,
Take care.
seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. We had Ann also on the list here.
Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Well, I feel like in all fairness, besides expressing concerns, and all of us are part of the community, so we're all a team trying to work together, that I do want to represent both the positives and the negatives in regards to the bus, okay? And could you stand up, please? This lady here is wonderful. When I've
Get that on
talked to her
camera.
before, so.
Smelly, I'll get that on camera.
Sorry, I put you on spot.
Thank you.
But I just want to let you all, everybody know that.
Well, that's very nice of you.
And I feel it's good to recognize the ones that have done really well, you know, that I've come across, so. And I know you work really hard, I mean, I know that. But there, you know, are some good improvements that could be made, like, such as a little more accessibility. Like, for instance, like if you're going to the Rasmussen area or over by Five Guys, or, you know, which area of town I'm talking about.
Close to Wake Park.
Almost Wake Park.
It's really dangerous crossing that street there. I prefer to take the safer route as possible by going to the crosswalk. But even there, it's kind of dangerous there. If I don't hear somebody correctly, please let me know, because I have some damage in this ear here, you know. And that's part of the concern, like with all the traffic noise, can't hear, you know, I could hear, like, don't walk, but can't hear when it says to walk, you know? And I wonder if others might experience a similar situation there, you know, by, you know which highway I mean, by Rasmussen,
Yep.
everything. And there's not a stop right on the side of Rasmussen either. Either have to get off at Walmart and then go across the really busy streets, or go at a stop where there's no shelter. And I personally have gotten sick when I was coming back from Rasmussen after meeting with somebody, and the bus driver pulled away instead of stopping, and then I ended up walking to Crossroads and got sick. Plus, I was on crutches this past summer for dashboard injury. It's the common term, okay? But it's patellofemur syndrome, and that also wreaked havoc on my knee, you know? Walking to Crossroads from there to get a bus home, you know? And plus with asthma, that exacerbated that with the cold air, you know? Our Minnesota winters aren't always the most gentle, you know? And I know you can't control the weather.
No, we can't Wake Park. We can't Wake Park.
That's their identity.
That's their identity.
It's always 75 and sunny in Wake Park.
That's the new. Well, thank you, Ann, for sharing. Anyone else in the, didn't see any on the list, so, Brian, you have some things to add?
Yes, I have two things, Chair and Commissioners. I'd like to introduce Dan Medell. He's our new marketing intern. 30 days on the job, maybe 32.
Just over 6 weeks.
Okay, well, a little bit more than 30 days. Time flies when you're having fun. So I'd like to introduce Dan. He's our marketing intern. No?
Very special. It was so serious.
You got any audio visual?
From a
equipment?
college, St. Cloud State, St. John's?
I just graduated from St. Cloud State in December.
Oh, congratulations.
Okay, well, thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
Second thing, I'd like to, Commissioners, if you guys are available next week, Tuesday, February 23rd, we're having our St. Cloud 101, part of the St. Mayor Crisis Initiative. St. Cloud 101, you know, you go to different organizations throughout the state of St. Cloud, allow citizens and, I guess, community holders, stakeholders to learn more about different organizations here in the St. Cloud, and what services we have to provide, and what services we have to offer, things of that nature. So it's our turn, basically, coming up next week, Tuesday, February 23rd. It'll be held at the Mobility Center. And Debbie Anderson, I think we have about, 12 people signed up so far?
Yep, there's 12 signed up.
Right. So Deb, Tom, and myself will be on hand to just talk about MetroBus. We have the Mobility Center, so we have the bus and the traffic signal, so have the real street corner inside the building. So I think it'll be exciting just to explain the services that we provide. If you guys are available, we greatly appreciate if you guys are available. I'll put on your calendar, make a calendar appointment, but I just wanted to formally tell you about it. February 23rd from 4:30 to 6:30 at the Mobility Center.
We're gonna actually get on a bus and ride it.
And I won't be driving.
That's what you say.
Anything else? Anyone have anything
No,
else? Okay.
that's it. That's all I have.
All right.
No.
Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn. Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 4:35.